All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game between SIMMONS and VietnamGosu taking place here on Echo Isle 2.2. SIMMONS spawning as the pink orc on the top left-hand side of the map, opening things up with an altar of storm orc burrows. Meanwhile, VietnamGosu spawning as the yellow undead over here on the top. Oh, did it just zoom in on me? Oh wow. Okay, no, it's too far. All right, there you go. VietnamGosu spawning as the yellow undead over here on the top right. One of the players must have adjusted their zoom, and then instead of like transitionally zooming, it just like snapped to it. So, yep. Let's go ahead and break things down in this matchup. Echo Isle 2.2, an upgrade over that original Echo Isle where there was only these two bottom expansions here on the minimap. The addition of this fifth expansion, or this fifth gold mine, creates an interesting point. Anytime that there is an odd number of gold mines, it's always going to be a point of interest to see who can actually capture it. And the fact that it's expanding towards your opponent means that, well, both players can easily get there. We are looking at a Shadow Hunter first coming across from SIMMONS, opening things up with War Mill and a barracks. So we could be looking at some Headhunters, Serpent Wards perhaps, or maybe he's trying to go for that unkillable ranged army just like the Paladin. We'll have to see how he plays that strategy. Meanwhile, VietnamGosu going for a much more traditional Crypt and a Death Knight. Scouting things out. Acolyte gonna come across here. There is that Shadow Hunter. You can see that a Grunt is being trained up. Always get that initial Grunt, as that initial Grunt is extremely effective at tanking damage, having decent amount of hit points, and, well, you just want units. SIMMONS opting to go for an additional Orc Burrow instead of a quick tech to tier 2, as we see the Shadow Hunter now out here on the battlefield. Acolyte did take one single shot of damage. Are we going to see more? Well, that Grunt is actually getting in the way of the Shadow Hunter. What's going to go down here? There's a little bit of damage. There's a little bit of poke. And, well, this Acolyte could end up getting just taken down. One more shot could be enough. Yes, it is. So another shot there. There's double Serpent Wards. And this is an interesting strategy by SIMMONS. He's going to be able to place down all of these Serpent Wards in a position where he's able to pull perhaps from all three of these creep camps. So he's trying to make sure that their timed life is all extremely useful. As you can see that the Shadow Hunter, he's actually surrounded by wards. The Death Knight going to try to come across here. Does he really want to come across and try to engage in this spot here, as there's going to be quite a bit of damage? Now, the Shadow Hunter is tanking a large amount of damage, but at the same time, in the same way, well, the Shadow Hunter, can he dodge all of this damage easily? All right, we're looking at this Shadow Hunter playing just ring around here, as we're going to see the Shadow Hunter down to 4 hit points. He's trying to get away. The Death Knight does not have enough mana. There is no Voodoo Lounge, though. All right, so the Shadow Hunter going to go ahead and try to dive on in here. What is he going to do? He's going to try to double back around, and there's a Serpent Ward, but he does end up getting taken out. So the Death Knight now trying to hold the door here, as the Death Knight is now down to 162 hit points. A bunch of Headhunters trying to make their way out and saying, thank you very much, Death Knight. Death Knight, you're just going to end up taking a large amount of damage as well. All right, Voodoo Lounge was placed down by SIMMONS down across here, but that's going to be a big problem as we're looking at, the Shadow Hunter. Death Knight is now out here. So the Shadow Hunter is purposely, the Death Knight is purposely making its way over here to try and, who's going to get the last hit? Shadow Hunter comes out just in time. So the Death Knight was purposely trying to get himself killed while the Shadow Hunter was getting resurrected. So the Peon then jumps in, the Peon then leaves, the Shadow Hunter gets just enough time, and now that's just hilarious. The Shadow Hunter ends up gaining the experience of the death of a level 2 Death Knight, and now the Death Knight itself is going to take a little bit longer to resurrect because, well, or cost a little bit more to resurrect because it was at level 2 compared to level 1. All right. Strange, very odd opening there. Both sides, well, exchanging blows quite a bit. Shadow Hunter does need to use up a Clarity Potion and a Healing Salve here, but no big problem. The Voodoo Lounge is right there. pick those up. Yep, Clarity Potion, Healing Salve, and that now on its merry way. Meanwhile, Headhunter is trying to test the waters here. There is, well, the Death Knight trying to go after this Ogre Magi creep camp. Is this all going to get spotted? No. Well, Headhunter actually sees this, perhaps, and now, well, here we are into that engagement. All right, one low hit point ghoul. There's some Headhunter. There's some poking the Death Knight now going across into the back here. You're going to see that one ghoul down to 76 hit points. More damage coming back across. There's a gift wrap Headhunter. Double Serpent Wards now down, and we're going to see another ghoul perhaps get taken down here. Is it going to get taken down? Yes, it does get taken down as the Headhunters are trying to retreat away. This is not your traditional opening. There goes another Headhunter there. Both sides suffering quite a bit of losses as the Serpent Wards are trying to poke back. Healing Wave bouncing around. That's going to be another dead skeletal minion, but the Shadow Hunter is still not yet at level 3. All right, one more final shot. Is it going to be enough? It perhaps would not have been enough, but no way of knowing as the Death Knight uses a Dark Ritual or the Ritual Dagger to finish things off. I love your content. I'll bring some friends to watch next time. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for all the support out there. Yeah, I gotta say, definitely helps to be able to enjoy something that I'm doing during this transition period in my life. Add me on Discord. Henry, no, I'll have to remember. Coming back around. Death Knight. Wow, Death Knight sitting at level 3. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 3. Little bit of a chase going back and forth. But remember, the Headhunters only have 375 hit points as we see a Pit Lord as the second hero. All right, interesting call. Pit Lord as a second hero. We're going to see some damage. There goes another Death Coil there. Remember, 200 hit points is more than half the life of that 375 Headhunter. All right, Death Knight now trying to make a move here. Does have a Rod of Necromancy. Perhaps could get a charge off here, but I don't see any more skeletons out here available. All right, Watchtower about to get destroyed. There's a Howl of Terror that's only going to reduce the damage just a little bit, as the Shadow Hunter, I don't believe, does not have Hex, and now going after these units once more. Tech to Tier 2 already done. Tech to Tier 3 underway. Lich is already out on the battlefield right there. I'm seeing some items getting transferred. Potion of Mana on that Death Knight as the Serpent Ward and Pit Lord. Yeah, Shadow Hunter and Pit Lord combination. Not something you see every day at all. Death Knight now making its rounds off to the north here. Still no Obsidian statues. Those need to get trained up to try and bolster, as we are looking at the bestiaries getting placed down, as we are now at Stronghold, obviously with that Pit Lord in play. All right. Double or quad Serpent Wards here. The Serpent Wards do deal quite a bit of poke damage. Are we going to see some damage onto those skeletal minions? Yes, we are. You can see quickly how much damage they deal here, as we're looking at the Lich now down to 319 hit points. The Shadow Hunter using Clarity Potions as though he's just constantly thirsty, throwing down multiple Serpent Wards as the Ogre Mauler getting taken down here. All right, Death Knight picks up a Potion of Replenishment. Pit Lord sitting at level 1, going to finish off the remainder of this Forest Troll Berserker creep camp and, well, perhaps move along its merry way. Meanwhile, Death Knight, Lich, only 2 heroes and an Obsidian statue, trying to clear out more creep camps. Ghouls now making their way down, and we are only staying at Stronghold, not going into Tier 3. Black Citadel. Well, are we going to see a third hero? Difficult to say. Dark Ranger, always a possibility, as the Lich is, well, taking quite a bit of damage here. All right, Lich, surrounded by Obsidian statues, should be fine, should get to level 2 easily off of this 5-3-3 creep camp, as we're still looking at more creeping underway. Simmons, well, Wind Riders taking to the skies here, looking to finish off this creep camp, and there's Cleave, so that Pit Lord is going to be trying to dive into this position, or into positions, and then just slice and dice his way through. However, the Pit Lord will only have Healing Wave as the health recovery, not that single target burst heal Death Coil. All right, little bit of damage onto the Mud Golem. There's a boulder toss onto the Shadow Hunter, and here we are. Pit Lord's going to try and slice and dice his way through. There is one Wind Rider as well, causing a little bit of piercing damage. And both sides just content with creeping right now. All right, VietnamGosu having an extra amount of lumber, able to pull some of those ghouls off that lumber line for now, as we're looking at 37 supply compared to Simmons' 46. We should be getting, well, more bestiary units. There's a Troll Bat Rider as well to perhaps try and dive onto that, those destroyers if they take to the skies. And now VietnamGosu is going for a third hero, the Naga Sea Witch. Cold arrows, most likely followed by that Fork Lightning, so incredibly powerful in being able to burst things down. Alright, Voodoo Lounge quickly getting, well, clawed and destroyed here. You're going to go ahead and try to head back here, as we're now going to be looking at some poking damage here. All right, Acolyte trying to retreat back. Remember, this is all off of one base right now. We're going to see the, all the Acolytes now positioned down to the south. All right, so one low hit point Ghoul, well, nope, not low hit point Ghoul, able to stay alive. Now perhaps going to try and go after some of these other Ziggurats here, and we're just going to see a little bit of poking. All right, so just trying to go after Ziggurats. We're going to be upside down on supply. Ghouls are now making their way over. This is a little bit of a dive here, but Simmons is sitting behind 3 of these Serpent Wards, so they're able to poke quite a bit back. All right, Acolytes trying to come back over. We're seeing some damage. Scroll of Town Portal now trying to retreat back. Frost Nova. We're going to see a couple of Troll Bat Riders get taken out easily, and finally that Scroll of Town Portal back. Voodoo Lounge here. Simmons' Expo is very well protected. Meanwhile, Acolytes have transitioned down to the southern side. 3 Acolytes mining here. 3 Acolytes mining off to the north. More Acolytes need to be trained, sitting at 42 supply compared to 48. All right. Murloc Nightcrawler trying to spread around that poison, hit multiple targets. Meanwhile, Pit Lord sitting at level 2 does not pick up the last ring of protection for some reason. Must adjust and not be aware. We're looking at a couple more creep camps available on the map. Pit Lord should be able to get to level 3. And then, well, we'll start finally seeing what these 2 teams have in store for each other in terms of endgame content. Right now, the heroes or the armies of both sides don't really seem primed to actually destroy each other's bases. I don't see that much siege damage. Troll Bat Riders really not known for siege damage, more for trying to take down destroyers if they do get up. We are looking at a 1 Crypt Fiend, and here we are, Naga Sea Witch. I'm going to spot all of this here. Now, Cold Arrows onto the Troll Bat Rider. Troll Bat Rider trying to get away. No web from the Crypt Fiend. Is web getting researched? No web to bring down those air units. All right, Pit Lord sitting at level 2, Shadowhunter sitting at level 4. Bottom left-hand side of the map. Simmons gonna go ahead and Howl of Terror, try to bring down these units. Pit Lord already at level 3 now. Should stay at level 4, level 3. Still another powerful orange creep camp off over here at the 9 o'clock spot. And that's pretty much going to be all she wrote after the Death Knight, Lich, and Naga Sea Witch clear out of this bottom right-hand side. Naga Sea Witch will get to level 2. Lich will get to level 3. Death Knight may get to level 4. It might be a 4-3-2 going up against a 4-3 as the units look to clear out the remainder of the creep camps here. No, not going to clear that out. All right, Shadowhunter looking to get a little bit more mana. There's a Clarity Potion again. There's that Serpent of Nobility. Also has a Sobi Mask. So yeah, the Shadowhunter is really, really heavily invested in this acting as a caster. Double Mantles of Intelligence, Circlet of Nobility, plus 8 Intelligence, north of 500 mana on a agility-based hero at level 4. Yeah, remember, it is agility-based, not, oh wow, going after a Grunt. Alright, so Grunt gets denied there, but still sitting at 51 supply. 1 Peon still needs to get cleaned up in order to get out of that upkeep problem that we currently see. Alright, I don't think Simmons realized that. Alright, Simmons didn't realize that, so still needs to find a way to take out 1 Peon to avoid low upkeep. No, decides to train up more units. Alright. A little bit confused by that. We'll see what comes of it. We are at Fortress. We are getting up a Tauren Chieftain. Not quite sure why the Grunt was lost there. And we are going to get another Circlet of Nobility item as the Tauren Chieftain makes its way out. Hello. Hello. Alright. Pit Lord going to pick up some items. For some reason, whenever I get raided, it doesn't show up properly on my notifications. I don't know why raids don't show up anymore. I know they used to, like follows and everything else does, but not raids for some reason. All right, northern side, Acolyte, or excuse me, not Acolyte, Ghoul, patrolling back and forth, making sure that this gold mine is not taken by Simmons. We are looking at two-base play on both sides. Both sides are at tier 3. Both sides do have, though both sides have 3 heroes. However, Undead perhaps a little bit ahead in the hero level advantage. Death Knight just on the cusp of level 4. And oh, look at this, a little itty bitty green feet camp for the Tauren Chieftain to get his feet wet on that experience bar. Now more than halfway to level 2. All right, healing wave bouncing around. Orc trying to go for mass air in this army here. So this is going to be a lot of piercing damage. Serpent wards could get placed down. Are we going to be looking at level 2, level 3 serpent wards that deal north of 40 or north of like about 50 damage per attack? All right, shades are also wandering on across the map. 71 supply compared to 64, and both sides content just sitting in their neck of the woods right now. All right, Peon making its way across. I don't see a tiny Great Hall. That Tauren Chieftain, however, does have a large number of items already. Look at this. Full set of items on a level 1 Tauren Chieftain, as we see a watchtower now being placed down, and perhaps a peon going to try and set up some sort of Great Hall and take that northern position. All right, there goes another watchtower here, as we are looking at the Troll Bat Riders keeping track of that position there. 64 supply compared to 77. Yep. Echo Isle 2.2 breaking the norm, having this odd gold mine here, which will bring in engagement. All right, more Crypt Fiends being brought over. All right, VietnamGosu, are they going to try and start webbing down things? Fork Lightning and Frost Nova could also spell problems here, as we're going to see all of those tightly grouped units together. There goes a Frost Nova, there goes a web, and there goes some damage. Healing, well, Death Coil onto the Lich. He's going to be able to stay alive. Death Knight gets up to level 4, webbing down all of those units here, one at a time, as the Wind Rider gets taken down. Remember, Wind Rider's very, very fragile, only 570 hit points, but the Naga Sea Witch gets fallen at level 2 since no Death Coil here. Tauren Chieftain gets up to level 2. He's going to go for Endurance, or they're going to try to fight a little bit faster. Low hit point Destroyer currently in that backfield. Healing Wave keeping these units alive temporarily, as we're still seeing more and more engagement. All right, Destroyer trying to come back into the fight. He's going to get Death Coil healed, and now, but however, the Wind Riders may be able to go after that target as well. So many Serpent Wards there. The Tauren Chieftain, however, unable to get a stomp down onto those Crypt Fiends. And a big win for Simmons, who's now back up to 71 supply training, getting up a watchtower. We're seeing a Voodoo Lounge getting placed down. Perhaps a tiny Great Hall will be placed down as well. And this is going to be a very big point of interest. Simmons also has a very good defense at this Southern Expo, so he may just try and bank more gold than his opponent. And as long as he's trading efficiently, he should be fine. The Pit Lord, the fact that the Pit Lord is a frontline hero that's immune to Death Coil damage, and has a decent number of hit points, makes him actually the good counter pick against Undead, especially with the Shadow Hunter and level 2 healing wave backing him up. You can see the Shadow Hunter having north of, still having plenty of mana after all this time. Shade gonna wander around here. We're gonna sell some items for, is he trying to upgrade his items? Yes. Oh, wow. Getting a Vampiric Aura and Devotion Aura as well, as we are going to be looking at a tiny Great Hall placed down, and now in comes this expansion. All right, Scroll of Speed there. And, Simmons is using his economic advantage to get better items from this marketplace, this shop here, and we'll see how all of this unfolds. Meanwhile, Undead having, a couple of Banshees out, perhaps going to try to go for Anti-Magic Shell to offer a little bit of protection. Crypt Fiends are getting upgraded. We are getting up Meat Wagons, interestingly enough, to try and break the fortifications. Another barracks getting added across, off on the north side here. So a little bit of an interesting, perhaps just another building with high hit points to get in the way. All right. Wind Riders, are they going to be able to poke apart a ghoul or not? That's going to be the easy question. Wow, that ghoul, well, pretty much shot down in an instant. More ghouls could get taken down as well, as the units are just trying to engage here. There goes the Troll Bat Rider, taking a little bit too much damage, being forced to retreat back out again. All right, anti-magic shell. Here we are. Here we go. Triple Serpent Wards right there. Meat Wagons. And this is that anti-magic shell push that can cause so many problems as the Meat Wagons try to line up and get into position. All right, where are we? Where are we going? There's some necromancers as well, and waiting for the attack to begin. Meat Wagons down to, well, 380 hit points, and we see what's going to be engaging here. All right, Banshee purposely backing up. Meat Wagons going to start lobbing those attacks, and here we are, Skeletal Mages. Here we are, go into an engagement now. Meat Wagons, what is going to go down here? Tauren Chieftain going to try to make its way through. Kodo Beast, well, Vampiric Aura not going to be that helpful. There goes one. Shadow Hunter now sitting at level 5, going to go for a level 3 Serpent Ward. That's that 46 to 50 damage. There's a Stomp right there, reducing much of the damage again. Are we going to see a healing wave onto that Pit Lord? Pit Lord currently okay. There's a healing wave bouncing around as the Crypt Fiends are trying to poke down. Serpent Wards are continuing to fight. Tauren Chieftain going to try to throw down a Stomp. Does throw down a Stomp. Meat Wagon could get cleaned up here, as it does get taken out as well. 59 supply compared to 65, and it looks like Simmons should be able to hold this. Lich going to be in trouble. No, Death Coil finds its way at the last possible moment, as we're still seeing more damage come on through. Tauren Chieftain now trying to back up here. He's going to try and stomp here. No, Invul Potion instead, trying to go after some more of those targets. Another Crypt Fiend could get taken down. One more attack should be enough, and we're looking at more damage onto that Meat Wagon instead. Meat Wagon down to 14. That gives level 3 to the Tauren Chieftain. Level 3 Tauren Chieftain going to stomp. That's going to be the death of a Lich again. Death Coil finding the Pit... not the Pit Lord, excuse me. That Lich once more for another burst heal, but that Naga Sea Witch falls once more. And now we're looking at 5-4-3 going up against a 4-3-2. Supply, 70 supply compared to 55. Simmons is just, well, letting his economic advantage stretch out that lead. He's going to be playing defensive, kind of like when, Ice Climbers have a stock advantage in melee. You just kind of sit back and let your opponent come to you as you in a timed match, because you know you can handle it and you can do it. All right, Wind Rider Simmons just saying, you know what? Let me just free up some more supply. Those Wind Riders are actually just feeding experience to my opponent right now, and my opponent has just been getting so many Crypt Fiends. Let me remove the Crypt Fiends from the equation. All right, so no more Crypt Fiends. 63 supply compared to 70. All right, Serpent Ward's going to get thrown down. There's those, well, Demolishers, and they're going to be, well, throwing down quite a bit of damage. There's that Howl of Terror trying to reduce damage here. There goes another Banshee once more, and the Demolishers are just pushing their way through. Are they going to be able to get in some big damage? Pit Lord does have a potion of healing. He uses it already. Serpent or Shadow Hunter needs to perhaps get in some more healing waves onto that Pit Lord. They're trying to reuse that time there. There's some Devour Magic, Scroll of Speed, not being able to execute or, well, backtrack quickly, and suddenly the Destroyers are completely unchallenged in the sky. Pit Lord going to be in trouble, down to 380 points, or 80 hit points, trying to get away. We're looking at a little bit of damage. Shadow Hunter having an Orb of Lightning, able to cast Purge, but nothing else is attacking up right now, as we see another one get taken down. There's a healing wave bouncing around as the Shadow Hunter down to 185 hit points. Scroll of Town Portal dodging the Death Coil there. Kodo Beast, and not close enough to all of the action. Going to try to double back through. He's going to try and get away. Nope. Going to end up getting cleaned up here. And, well, 61 supply compared to 78. Level 4 now on that Lich, getting that experience from the Serpent Ward. Torrent or Shadow Hunter needs to get some healing waves. Oh, but the Death Knight does have sight here. Remember, that shade is right there, so a Death Coil or a Frost Nova through the trees right here could be absolutely devastating. Just like seeing beyond the trees here, and it would have finished off the Shadow Hunter, but VietnamGosu not capitalizing in that opportunity. All right, there's a Frost Nova, a little bit of, well, that is a lot of Demolishers. What is going on here? Simmons kind of just toying with his opponent right now with mass Demolishers, but the Destroyers with that magic damage against those slow-moving Demolishers, that could cause problems. Another way of looking at it, though, is, hey, this is the only mechanical unit Orc has. I've now completely shut down Frost Nova and Fork Lightning against my army. So the only targets for Frost Nova and Fork Lightning are the heroes, and the heroes themselves have natural magic resistance. So that's what the play is here. Troll Bat Rider is going to find some targets. They're going to take some down. There goes some units here. Torrent Chieftain does get it in a stomp. There's a healing wave bouncing around. Pit Lord is going to have to use a potion of invulnerability there. Nope, uses the invul potion now. Are we going to see some more healing wave bouncing around here? A little bit of Devour magic as the Demolishers are just destroying the ground here. Pit Lord could be in trouble. Scroll of Town Portal tries to back away. There's a little bit more damage going after all of those units. There goes the Naga Sea Witch, and at level 2 again. Alright, all of the units just kind of hanging out together now, and what an interesting way to try and do this battle, just using superior range meat wagons. However, we're going to start launching. Here we go. There goes a Frost Nova. There goes another unit. There's a Death Coil for a save, and the Voodoo Lounge temporarily still here for now as the Troll Bat Rider gets webbed down. Alright, Pitlord trying to fight his way through. Does have a potion of healing and not enough mana on here. Obsidian statues could get taken down. There's level 6 now on the Shadow Hunter. Level 6 Shadow Hunter continuing to bounce around here. And this was an absolute strange game, using mass demolishers as a way to counteract Death Coil, Frost Nova, and Fork Lightning, saying, you know what, these range units, these ranged mechanical units are better. And that's actually the opposite of what you see in a human versus undead matchup. Human players often want to go for mortar teams to try and break undead fortifications. And, well, they're just primary targets of Death Coil, Frost Nova, Fork Lightning. So Mass Demolisher coming across from Orc saying, you know what, I got something interesting for you. Too many Demolishers? Yeah. That's like saying too much brute force. Crota, your opinion on classic HD graphics. Will you stream WarCraft 3 with it? It looks good. Classic HD? I feel... Alright, well, here are the final scores. I guess I'll answer that question now. I feel like classic HD graphics, the shadows actually distract me. Like, the shadows look so good that I'm looking at the shadows sometime and I'm like, and because the shadows are actually perfect outlines, and then throughout the day, the shadows don't rotate their position at all. So I'm like, wait a second, those shadows aren't real shadows. The sun's moving, and then the shadow is just as bright during the day and as clear of an outline as it is at night. And I'm like, so it's almost like when you play StarCraft, like StarCraft 2, sometimes you turn it to like the minimal settings because you don't want to get too focused on all of the graphics and just focus on the gameplay sometime, right? Like I find myself doing that sometimes when I'm playing. If the graphics are too good, I'll watch the game instead of actually play the game. I don't know. Leave your comments below on what you guys think are the best ways to enjoy the game.